sound of an engine. I love it. Welcome to Rockpile.
I'm Amanda.
I'm Corey.
And we live off-grid on 100 acres in the wheat belt of WA.
We do.
And today we are preparing for a special, exciting new addition to the homestead. And there's some things that we have to get done, I think, like before tomorrow. So,
yes.
And this is our only window of opportunity. Got Mr. Rockpile on the job today.
I'm actually
hobbling around.
I'm actually supervisor today.
So one, we need to finish this fencing. You can see that we're leaning up against a corner box section here that we made quite a while ago.
Yep.
We've got about half an acre, would you say?
Yep. Yeah, just under 2,000 square metres here.
In this sort of
paddock.
So this is going to be kind of like home paddock. It's completely fenced. In the middle of the paddock, we've got the pig pen. We've got some stretches of fencing that are just loose. We need to put in some star pickets. Previously, Corey prepared it quite well and laid the star pickets out, and they're all spaced good.
I did what I could do back then.
So it's time to pick the project back up.
Yep.
And get it complete enough so it is a suitable home for our new girl.
Okay, so star pickets, got about 10 down here, 8 down here to put in. We've got the post driver,
which is a
petrol powered
one.
thing.
How heavy is that again?
23 kilos, I believe.
Okay, so...
Oh no, 17, 12.
Oh, it's getting better and better. Okay, I was going to say it's about the weight
I know
of
that I can lift it with one hand and get it on top of the picket.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
We do have a safe step here.
I don't think I'm going to have quite... I don't have your wingspan.
Why do we have the safe step?
Because I'm short than Corey, and I'll need to... Well, we think I'll need to get up onto the safe step to be able to get the petrol-driven post-hole driver.
We'll see how we go. We may do the first one off camera, or we may not. I don't know yet. It depends what...
Well, we'll record it,
yeah,
and if it's really bad,
yeah.
then we'll probably just show you anyway. Alright.
Try not to fall off the safe step. It is safe. It is called a safe step. So when we're putting the posts in, with the petrol post driver, the person holding the driver holds it up like this on the handles, and they're in charge of making it level. So they're in charge of putting it in level this way, and then I'll be down the fence line further down that way, and I'll be looking at Amanda and she'll be looking at me, and I tell her where to lean the post that way. So between the two of us, hopefully we end up with the posts in quite level. So this is 7/90/30 ring lock. Now I just pick a point between the two verticals, so they're 300mm apart, and I just go in there against the bottom, and that's it. Pick up the driver, one-handed, whack it on top, and wait for the level this way, and wait for my spotter the other way, and we're away. So, we need the jerry can, fuel.
Is this one that needs any oil or anything?
No, this is a 4-stroke engine, so there's actually oil inside the engine, so we don't do like the 2-stroke premix like the chainsaws. Gotcha. We're just going to check the actual little mechanism that does the ramming. So this area here requires grease. It actually hasn't had that much use, so I'm presuming there's going to be ample grease in there. So yep, plenty of grease on the little mechanism in there. This bit my finger on down the bottom is like the crankshaft, and this is, we'll call this like the conrod if you're in relation to an engine. And when it turns over, this oscillates around and pushes the piston, which is in here, up and down, just like a piston in a car, like in the crank and the rod and the piston goes up and down, and that's what gives it the whacking force.
Whacking force, okay.
The whacking, what do you call it? The driving force, because the thing's ramming it against that, and then on the other end of that is like a hardened bit of steel, we'll just go with that, that the star picket or whatever you use, the round steel post, bangs against. So I'll just put that on, not too tight because it's only plastic, you don't want to strip it. Spin this around. This is the oil in here. You want the oil, so when this machine is sitting level, you want the oil to almost be coming out of the porthole there. And you can just see about 1/4 inch inside it, there is oil in there. And then just always check the little rubber O-ring that's on here. If it's worn out, replace it. It's only an O-ring. It's just things like that. A 10-cent O-ring can cost you an engine, and don't do that up too tight again because it's only plastic. So, we've got a little primer bulb under here, like most little engines. Just hiding in here. So you push that and you can see the fuel coming through this clear hose. This is the choke, just like on a normal, any engine really has a choke. So we do choke on, make sure the start switch is in the start position, and we'll give it a pull. It may not start the first time or the second time, because this hasn't been used for a while, so we'll see what happens. We'll keep trying. It should have started by now. Okay, there we go. So I've still got the choke on, we'll just let it warm up a bit. You can hear the revs sort of starting to pick up a tad. Should be able to give it like a little... The sound of an engine, I love it.
Should have worn earmuffs.
Oh, hey, Dozer.
He's crying because he wants to come out here.
You're darling.
We're going to give the fence a bit of a restrain as we work our way back up and around. We just need the spanner to do up the ratchet strainer on the diagonal for the box section there. Then we're going to get some thin wire that we can bend with our hands, and we're going to tie this fence back to the pickets, and we'll also tie the barbed wire down to the top of the post here. Alright, so I got my tools for my next little job. Got my pliers to cut the wire with. Got my spanner to do the ratchet thing, which I'll show you in a sec. And just some, I don't know what gauge this wire is. It's about 2 mil thick, but I can bend it with my fingers. And that's what we're going to use to tie the fence wire back to the post and the barbed wire down to the top. So this is a ratchet strainer. It just works on like a ratchet mechanism. You use your spanner on here and you wind it up and it pulls this tight. And the idea of a box section is that this wire, this diagonal wire, puts pressure on this post and pulls it back that way. So when we're straining the fence that way, it counteracts it to make it so it's, you know, rigid and tight. So we just give it a click. One click. Oh, not yet, another one. Okay, now I'll just move on to my little bits of wire and I'll show you what I do down there, and then I'm going to get left on my own. Alright, so we'll just get a bit of wire, probably 150 mil. We'll go. There we go, we cut it off. Lovely. Then I'll just fold it in half. So, in half. So through the hole, down so it's tight, and just twist around, and then I usually just leave the end bit tucked in like that so it's not sticking out very far, and then I pull down and I do the other one. And now the next hole down in the picket is where the single strand of wire goes. We roll that out on the spinning jenny. I'll do that later. So then we start with our tying our ring lock back to the post. You'll see that the horizontals line up with the holes. So I like to try and pick a hole that is lower than the horizontal wire, and that way I can put a little bit of downward pressure onto the fence rather than picking a hole that's higher, because then the fence would move up. So I basically just go through the hole, around a couple of times, and then grab the other side. Lovely. Poke my little ends in, out of the way. I'll do probably 4 per post, and then 8 posts. 4 8s are 32 back when I went to school.
I had to lift Corey unsupervised. While I set up this container for our girls' water. So this is what it looks like in place. It needs a bit of refining, pushed back and adjusted, and I'll show you how I've dug it. So I've cut in the back there, I've made room for the belly in the centre, and I've put the excess at the front, and then once it's in place I will just tidy up the dirt around it.
We have a water line just over here. This feeds water to the pigs. We'll just get that out of the pig trough and manually fill that up in there. That'll do for the next couple of weeks. We'll just do that. We have got a 700 litre tank there that is going to get filled up.
You're a dozer. He's running there with his toy. Oh, you're so cute.
I wait for you guys. Okay, so there's the tank.
Yep, we just had all this like ratchet strapped in while I was in out of action for a bit. So the tank's going to go like against this side here, and we'll fill that up with water, and then that'll just go in to have a float valve in the water trough.
We've got fencing.
Yep.
We've got somewhere to put water.
Yep.
What else do they need?
I need something to eat out of. So we have a little feed trough over there, which I will use my extender arm. Right. They do come in handy every now and then. So we got that, which ideally this sits on like a timber frame or something. We may even just hang it off.
Oh yeah.
That bit of.
Yeah.
You can tell we're just winging it. Yeah. So that's, hopefully that'll be alright. If not, it can just go on the ground and, you know. Alright, so we're just going to fill this up. I just got to turn the sprinkler on. Wrapping up here. I've just got 2 of these left to tighten up. So we'll just give this one a little nudge, bit of extra nudging, you know. Alright, good. And then we've got these gripples that we're just going to give a tighten. The Gripple 4000. Doesn't actually have a name, it's just, I just call it the Gripple tool. Most expensive tool in the fencing toolbox. You basically just open them up and you put the wire in here, and when you let go, that little ratchet grips the wire, and the gripple sits in this groove here, and then when you pull it, it pulls the wire through the gripple, and the gripple has like a little one-way, what would you call it, little one-way ratchet I suppose in it, that allows the wire to be pulled one way but not the other way. And you can get a good couple of 100 kilos of strain on these. So we just put it on and we just give it a pull like that. And you can really give it the curry, you know, they're pretty strong. And then I generally just wrap the strand around just like that, so it's not, I'll do it on this one so you can see. So it's not just hanging out. I give it a little wrap, and a twist. Now I can't do it because my fingers are not strong enough. There we go. And that just keeps it nice. See, tight as.
So that will pretty much be us for today. A few bits and pieces.
Hi.
Corey's gonna go get some hay, some oaten hay. And I've got some extra feed in the shed that I have to put together. But we'll see you guys tomorrow. Oh my god!